Heyo redstoners, this is Heyo37, and today I have for you a 2x2 hipster door. I know I've been doing a lot of hipster doors lately, but what can I say? I like them. So anyways, yeah, this is a really small 2x2 hipster door. Honestly, you could just expand my expandable hipster door to 2, and it would be the same size, but I decided to make this one anyway, and it's actually a lot faster than the other one would be. So, I mean, I guess you could call it, it is the smallest, by the way. I guess you could call it the smallest 2x2 non-expandable hipster door, but that sounds kind of retarded, so just say smallest 2x2 hipster, or whatever. So anyways, it's really small, especially for all the movements it has. Let's just show it with a bit more of a view. It works a little bit differently than the way my other hipster does, but it has the same general idea for using both circuits, or the same circuit 2 times. So yeah, the wiring is pretty densely packed, especially over here. It's got a few weird things that I used, but yeah, I think it works pretty nicely. So anyways, let's just jump right into the tutorial. Alright, so here you have your input block, and obviously just slap a lever right on there, and then next to get your building block, and for me that would be cyan, because that's how I do things in case you haven't noticed yet. And anyways, do a miniature torch tower up here, and a repeater on one tick right here, into a redstone dust and a block right here, and these are going to power the side pistons. But what we want to do is keep them turned on for a while to retract the pistons the first time. So the way we'll do that is put a torch right there after adding this 4-tick repeater. So yeah, it'll turn on quickly, but it'll take a second to turn off. That's exactly what we want. And a bonus of this little circuit right here is when you give it a pulse from a hopper dropper combo, come on, there we go. So hopper dropper combos give a sort of a mix between a 4-tick pulse and a 3-tick pulse, because this will turn on, but and it'll turn on for 4 ticks. So you can see that right here. So yeah, that gives that a 3-tick pulse, and this turns it into a 2-tick pulse. Now this gets a 4-tick pulse, converts it to a 3-tick, 2-tick, and then it 1-ticks it right here. So anyways, it works, and this 4-tick right here doesn't turn off, which is exactly what we want, because that is the part that refires the entire circuit. And so just put a dropper with an item in there, right there, and a comparator. So if we do this right, we'll just place this back. It'll turn on, take a second to turn off, and then after a little bit of delay, the entire circuit will fire again, but only once. Perfect. So next we get into the actual wiring of the circuit that we reuse. And so first of all, we have this right here. And we have to have an unstackable item in there because we're going to run this down. Actually, I'll get to that in a second. First, I want to explain why this needs to be a dropper and a hopper and not just redstone, dust, and repeater. The first thing is signal strength. Later, when we build this section over here, you'll see why that matters. And the second is these things take about 3.5 takes to turn on, but they turn off as if this were just redstone dust. So this turns off after 1 tick, and so that allows this delay right here to work. And I will show you what I mean. Okay, so both of these need to be slabs. Then run redstone dust across there and 2 repeaters. See, it takes a second to turn on, but then it retracts it perfectly, and then it reuses the circuit. Alright, so the next part is this right here, and then we can add in the rest of our pistons. And so this is basically the entire closing and a tiny bit of the opening. So yeah, there's the closing, and then it will retract that piston, and then it'll try to reuse the circuit. But we want to keep these pistons extended because it had retracted them like that, and with these extended we could just give this a 1 tick pulse and then retract these and finish off the double, which is exactly what we want to do. So the way we do that is we take a signal from here, since this line is only used once in this circuit, and two 3-tick repeaters, 2 redstone dust right here, then run it down, and then 2 more repeaters right there. And so that should keep it on for long enough. Yeah, and then it tries to reuse the circuit again, and that also assists with the retraction. And so the way we do this 1 tick pulse is a falling edge. So this is where the signal strength comes in. We have a dropper and a hopper here, just a normal item. And if we had a repeater, this comparator would get locked, but fortunately we have a non-stackable item which gives 3 signal strength, and this comes all the way down to 1, and this also gives 1 signal strength. So unless it's on the subtraction mode, it should give 1 signal strength as an output. So then we just have our usual falling edge. Now this can't be a furnace right here and just a normal block. I tried that, and that's because if it's a furnace with an unstackable item, I suppose you could put a furnace and a certain amount of normal items, but that'd be too much work. So, this only goes to 3, and then that means this won't fire again to refire the falling edge and create a loop and such. So let's just test this part out. Yeah, and that happens because the circuit's reused. But yeah, it works just fine. And so for that last pulse, we have a dropper and a hopper right here. Comparator output, and then sticky piston with a redstone block, and make sure there's an item in the dropper. Now the whole thing should be done, and we'll just test it out. Yeah, it works just fine. And so now we just add in our floor, and the cool thing about this is there aren't any blocks in the floor that need to be solid blocks. These door blocks right here have to be solid blocks or else it won't work, because these blocks are used to power the pistons when they're at floor level. So yeah, as you can see, it works pretty nicely. And it's not way too slow either. And by the way, I didn't mention this before. This is 7 by 4. Well, yeah, 7 by 4 by 4, which is 112 blocks. So yeah, it is the smallest, unless you expand my expandable one, but yeah, we already talked about that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, leave a like if you please. I will see you next time.